Hi, I'm Kara Newman, Spirits Editor for Wine Enthusiast magazine. If you love bourbon, or as we're calling it at our table, Kentucky Champagne, you've probably heard of Jimmy Russell. After all, he's devoted more than 6 decades to Kentucky's Wild Turkey, where he still serves as master distiller. Thanks to Jimmy and his son Eddie Russell, who's also a master distiller, Wild Turkey has endured and continues to thrive in the highly competitive American whiskey marketplace.
I'm just plain old Jimmy from Kentucky. I used to say I was an old country boy from Kentucky. I can't say that anymore. I'm an old fat bald-headed man from Kentucky now. In the morning when I get up, I get my glass orange juice, my granola bar, and my banana. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, sir.
All right. Then head out here and get started. You know, I've never worked a day in my life. I feel like it's something I enjoy doing every day when I come to work. I started September 10th, 1954. Actually started right in the distillery, the making end of quality control. At that time, you'd done a little bit of everything.
Back in that time that Jimmy grew up, this community was a blue-collar, hard-working, not just one job, multiple jobs.
They were all solid families, and they worked hard, sent their kids to school.
The work ethic part, I mean, his father worked until the day he died. He's just that type of guy.
You know, physical labor was something a part of Mr. Russell and Mrs. Russell, so their children got it.
Who else stays at one job for 60 years? The intensity and how much passion one can still hold and the drive, I mean, it's just incredible.
Gets up every morning, goes back and does the same thing and likes his job.
How many days have I missed work?
0, I would think.
Where it comes from, you could bottle that up and sell that drive. You could probably make a hell of a lot more than we do off our bourbon we make.
It's a passion. It's not a job. I'm gonna retire when it becomes a job.
Here to accept the Wine Star for Spirit Brand of the Year are Jimmy and Eddie Russell and Ugo Fiorenzo.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the ladies that I'm not Matthew speaking, but rather than hearing a boring Italian talking about whiskey, bourbon whiskey, I will have the honor to introduce you to Jimmy Russell, our really rock star and legend of bourbon.
Thank you, Hugo. You know, bourbon's one of the strongest things in the world today. It's become a worldwide market. While bourbon is huge, anywhere you go in the world, you can find Kentucky, especially Kentucky bourbon, but bourbon is a worldwide product for American only. You can only make bourbon in the United States of America. So we've had a wonderful career, been fortunate with us to work with my son now for 36 years, and we've had a wonderful time working together.
So this is a great honor for us. I remember when I started in 1981, bourbons weren't doing too well, and Jimmy was sitting there and he's like, I'm not changing anything. Everybody else was changing their recipes. Everybody else was lowering their proof, aging the list, and I'm like, we've got to change, Jimmy. Everybody's changing. He's like, I'm not changing anything. So thank goodness for 36 years he's taught me the value if you're doing something right. And you should always work hard at it, but if you're doing it right, don't change anything. So we appreciate we appreciate Wine Enthusiasts for giving us this award. A lot of times it's sort of the up-and-comers. As he said, Jimmy's been doing this for 63 years and still comes to work every day. I'd like to give just a little shout out to the bartenders and mixologists because they're the ones that's brought the brown spirits industry back, making the old classic drinks. And then I'd like to say thank you to Campari, Grupo Campari, because when they bought us, they realized what we were and didn't try to change us. So thank you. Appreciate everything.